From News 19, I'm meteorologist Daniel Bonds. Here are the latest watches and warnings in effect for Tropical Storm Ian. You notice western parts of Cuba now under a hurricane warning, at least part of Cuba under a tropical storm warning. And we also have some tropical storm watches now in effect for the Keys of Florida. So we are continuing to track Tropical Storm Ian. It does have winds of 45 miles per hour, moving towards the west-northwest at 12 miles per hour. So here is the latest track from the National Hurricane Center. It's still expected to go under rapid intensification and become a major hurricane, it looks like, as early as Tuesday. It's going to get stronger as we continue through the work week, but then as we get towards the end of the work week, as it continues to move towards Florida, it appears it will lose a little bit of strength. So we'll kind of keep our fingers crossed, but I will say there is a lot of uncertainty with this particular storm. Here are the forecast spaghetti plots for Ian. As of right now, pretty good consensus through about the middle of the week, and then as we get towards the end of the work week, things kind of diverge a little bit. So we'll be watching this one very closely over the next few days. But if you have any interest in Florida, especially the panhandle of Florida, the west coast of Florida, and really all across Florida, you do want to pay close attention to this storm. Here's a closer look at the cone of uncertainty. It does include parts of South Carolina and parts of the Midlands. So as of right now, it looks like if this were to continue on this path, our impacts will be on Friday for us, mainly Friday, maybe even into Friday night for us in the Midlands of South Carolina. So again, things can change, but that's what we're watching right now. Here are the most likely times of arrival for the tropical storm force winds. Again, we're talking Friday for us, as those winds, maybe tropical storm force, move into parts of the Palmetto State. A little bit of a closer look. This is Friday morning, so there will be that opportunity for at least a small opportunity at this point for some tropical storm force winds Friday morning, and then as we get to Friday afternoon, and those odds kind of increase a little bit. Now this is on the current path. If the path changes a little bit, if the intensity changes a little bit, this forecast will change as well. Hurricane force winds, most likely time of arrival. You notice hurricane force winds possibly along the Gulf Coast, the western half of Florida, and then as that system kind of moves in on shore, it is going to weaken. So again, that's what we'll have to watch as it moves a little bit closer to making a landfall. Here is the American model. There's some differences between the American model and the European model. This one kind of shows it making a landfall. I'll show you right here. This is Thursday evening, and it kind of making a landfall near the panhandle of Florida. This is Friday, and you notice all that moisture moving into parts of the Palmetto State. So as of right now, regardless of where this kind of makes landfall, we're expecting a good bit of rainfall. Both models, at least the long-range models, European and American, show a lot of rain moving into the Palmetto State. This is Friday or Saturday afternoon, I should say, that rain starts to taper off. And let me emphasize, not an official forecast. This is just one of the global models that we look towards. And here's the European model showing a landfall closer to about, we'll say Tampa or so, but a little bit farther towards the south and east. And this is Friday morning. For us here in the Palmetto State, a lot of moisture being streamed in. If it were to make this little kind of jet up towards parts of Georgia, we'd be on the eastern side, and that would be the risk for possibility for some severe weather. So that'll be another component we'd have to look out for. But right now, it's going to be breezy and or windy conditions and some heavy downpours if it were to follow the track that it's currently on. Here are the rainfall totals, at least according to the GFS model. Again, the American model showing anywhere from 1.5 inches up to 3 inches, and then heavier amounts along the coast. European model shows anywhere from about 3 to 4 inches with some heavier amounts along the coast. Again, these are just some models of what we may or may not get. 7-day rainfall forecast model from the Weather Prediction Center indicating anywhere from 3 to 4 inches of rain. So a ton of rain is possible regardless of the strength at this point. But again, if it does weaken or change routes a little bit, our forecast will change as well. 10 named storms, 4 hurricanes, 2 major hurricanes. That is the average through today. So far we've had 9, 3, and 1, although Ian is forecast to become a major hurricane. Here's the list of names so far. Again, Ian, tropical storm, but it is forecast to become a major hurricane before it's all said and done. But obviously we're going to continue to track Ian and bring you updates as needed.